Boyut wrote many novels that would later become movies like Vertigo and Eyes Without a Face. Their novel Choice Cuts was adapted to film in 1991 in the movie Body Parts, although I get the feeling that directors got a lot of inspiration from the Boris Karloff Walking Dead and the Peter Lorre film Mad Love. There are just way too many similarities throughout this film. Right from the beginning, the opening credits reel you in with intense music. If you weren't sure about this film, you'll definitely stick around after hearing that score. Our main character Bill is a turtleneck-wearing psychiatrist trying to help violent psychopaths. While driving one day, he nearly avoids an accident with a vehicle in front of him, only to be hit by a Mack truck from behind him.
You could learn a lot from a dummy. Buckle your safety belt.
In the hospital, his wife gives the go-ahead to allow the doctor to graft a donor's arm onto Bill in place of the mangled one. We immediately know something's up because there are a ton of people walking around the hospital with guns, and that's never good. Bill is wheeled into a room where he sees a guy's head sawed off. Why didn't they put him to sleep before he could see that? Anywho, Bill finds out what is going on when his inmate patient informs him that the tattoo on his new arm is only given to those on death row. Bill starts having visions and random outbreaks of rage. He learns that the inmate that donated the arm also shared his limbs with other patients in need. Oh hey, it's Chucky! Brad Dourif is a delight in this movie as always, while he's keeping a pretty constant Jack Nicholson impression throughout this film.
Nobody had 2 seconds of their precious fucking time for my serious work. I get this arm, and hey, I make $250,000 in the first 3 weeks. My dealer's phone never stops ringing. The New York fucking Times is talking about my searing original talent.
For the most part, I would consider this a mediocre horror movie, but the score and the last 10 minutes of gore make it worth watching at least once. I don't feel the sense of urgency when Bill's wife was pressured to sign the waiver for the surgery. Losing a limb would be tragic, but I felt Mad Love did it much better since the man was a pianist and his livelihood depended on his hands. I also didn't feel like this movie aged very well. Nowadays, transplants are improving and saving lives, but this movie had the same fear of transplants as the brain that wouldn't die.
Limbs and organs taken from people.
I've got to have them to work with.
As long as you could ignore the absurd idea that transplants can transmit evil, I would actually suggest this, just as a 2 in the morning popcorn movie.